What is good, my running bastards? Hey everyone, I have a bit of a different video for you. So in this video, we're actually going to take a trip down memory lane, and we're going to see my running, my fitness, and my weight loss journey. So I lost over 40 pounds, and how I did it is actually quite easier than you might imagine, or maybe not. Maybe people already know it's easy, yet they don't do it. But essentially in the video, what I'm saying is I wanted to make a change that year. This is 2011, and I'm showing off my body at that time, and I'm jiggling that fat. I'm jiggling it, and that's kind of what I didn't like. I was happy with my upper body and my arms. That's kind of what I'm saying right here. But that sensation, that vibration, I did not like it. So I worked really hard. So I don't want to waste too much of your time. I just want to get straight to the meat and potatoes. I worked really hard, and I was able to lose it. So this is also 2011. So the first video was January. This is August of 2011. And a lot has happened, right? To get from one area to another area. But this is me now. And this shape is what I was seeking, right? This is what I wanted. And I was quite content with getting there. But essentially, how, right? How did I get there? How did I go from one thing to the next thing, right? So let's start, right? So that trip down memory lane starts once again, 2011, where, oh my goodness, what are those? What are those? Are these running shoes? No, they are not running shoes. That is the original problem, and kind of why the name of this channel is Running Bastards, right? Is because I've had to figure out things along the way. I had no idea. Sort of like how Lil Nas X didn't. Either he didn't have an idea or he didn't care and ran the United half with Air Force Ones on. Similarly, I did the same thing, but I don't know. I just wanted to run. I just wanted to get out there and have fun. And on top of that, I went to the gym. So, you know, kind of, you can see the stomach, not where I wanted it, but like maybe other areas are okay. Not a lot of definition, but decent, right? Decent. And I was going to the gym, feeling good, doing good workouts, and that definitely makes you feel a certain way. So a friend and I also, on top of going to the gym, decided that we would begin running, but not just running on a treadmill. We decided we would want to go and run this time with others. So we did this is a mixture. This was a 5K / 13.1, right? So obviously we were not in half marathon shape at all, but I recommend that most people get their running debut with a 5K with other folks, not just by yourself. Obviously train by yourself or train with others, but doing things with others is so important and motivational. So we ran a lot, and so much that we even sort of had our own little running crew. And each person here in these slides has their own story I've known for years, and you know, their fitness journeys as well are very inspiring, and I would love to do a separate video just on them. But I was happy, right? You can see the smile on my face. My friends are there. We're at the park, fitness, all that good stuff, right? Feeling great. I got ear pods wrapped around my arm. Like you could tell the age, right? Nobody has wires anymore. And bulking at the gym once again, feeling good, posing and all that good stuff. Exactly what, you know, happens when you go to the gym, right? It's one of my favorite photos. I'm like struggling here, but it's like, we pay, right? We pay to the gym so that we can have pain, but the pain brings something in return, right? It's an exchange. And I want people to get over that, that yes, you will have pain, and that yes, it does not feel good, right? But what will feel good in the end are the results, right? That you're hoping to achieve, and you will only achieve it with consistency. And then you can go to the beach and then you could have a good time, you know, throw your peace sign out and have a good time. But just a little quick recap, the before and the after. This is all 2011. I did it, and it took me, I don't want to say the whole year, but you know, most of the year, right? From January to August. That's what these two photos are. the left being January, the right being August. And you can see a pretty, big difference. Okay? But yeah, I did not like the jiggle the fat. And some may say, well, you're not brolic now. And I'm like, I'm not, but I'm happy. This is the body type that I wanted, right? So in August, or this one's actually September, feeling great. But in terms of how I got there, I don't think I did it the right way. I don't think the diet part was right. Probably just was not eating well enough. Still, I was able to get the gains, but you could tell, like, if you don't make it part of your habit, it comes back. But this one, you could say maybe it's not my fault, because this was 2020 during the height of the lockdowns, where people couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't go to the gym. You couldn't do anything, right? So I put it back on. Not all of it, but I was starting to realize the trend was going in the wrong direction. So I said, you know what? No, I learned too much over the years to let this happen again. Here's where's the missing ingredient, right? I can't just what I was doing, I was kind of just resting on my gains for years, right? Until slowly I didn't have the gains anymore. So I started cooking, and mostly I was eating chicken and broccoli, lunch and dinner, chicken and broccoli, right? I might skip the breakfast, but I'll get into that in a moment. I bought one of these Ninja air fryer / everything. It did everything. This became like my #1 appliance. And the way to control your weight is to control the food you consume. And I was just baking chickens all the time. Chickens and chickens and chickens, right? Because if you're going to do this chicken and broccoli life, you need to have chickens and broccolis all the time, right? So, you could buy the whole chicken, little small ones that could fit in these air fryers, right? These aren't like heavy duty one chickens, right? But they're good enough. Slice them up, divvy them out for the week. And it wasn't always chicken. Sometimes it was beef. Sometimes it was fish. You do have we're humans, right? we have a certain tolerance for things. So mix it up. And I would normally incorporate the beef when I'm realizing, like, okay, I'm losing too much weight. Time to put some back on, right? Then I'll go back to chicken, and then I'll go to fish. I'll just try different things. But yeah, this meal was slamming. I love the Asian. If you can think of styles of food with chicken, I did it. Make it Asian style, Indian style, sauteed, broiled, boiled, fried, baked, grilled. I did it, right, with chicken. And, you will get bored trying to eat the same things over and over again. But add some color into your food, right? That also makes it more appealing. And you can see them, jumping between this container and then this bowl. And I feel like this helped me measure meals better instead of having like an enormous plate. Right? And then I lost it again. So I felt great. This is this year. Okay. So yeah, round trip back to where it started. But now let's kind of talk about a little bit about how to actually do it, right? So the first thing that I want to talk about is consistency, right? We're talking about doing the same things over and over again. And it's the same way that I like to teach, where you learn through what is called ROTE, R-O-T-E, which is basically habitual repetition. You do the same things every day that lead to a desired outcome. And that includes eating the same types of food all the time and doing the same types of exercise all the time, right? That lead you to that goal that you want. How are you going to get there if you don't do it all the time? If you don't do it all the time, it means you probably don't like it, right? But hopefully you do, right? So let's talk about the next pillar. There's only really 3 of these. Consistency is the first one. The second one is nutrition, right? What are you putting in your body? So for me, part of the first pillar of the consistency is food is supposed to be fuel, not necessarily the activity itself. Food is supposed to be fuel, okay? What you put in your body fuels you. It's a power source. Just like you wouldn't put water in your car. It doesn't work efficiently, right? You need to find a thing that makes it be powered, do what it's supposed to do. Your body is supposed to be able to do things with food. Okay, not that you eat so that you can eat the next thing right away. Use the food to do the activities, right? That's kind of what I'm getting at. So nutrition. and consistency hand in hand. So yes, you'll be eating the same types of healthy foods over and over again. I emphasis on the healthy. And let's talk about the third pillar, which is measurements / measurables, right? So how do you know? Right? That's the key question. How do you know that what you're doing actually is beneficial to you if you don't track it in some kind of way? So I'm talking about ratios and portions and knowing how much of a thing there is. That's why you could see that in the photos I was showing you the containers and all that stuff, right? That actually means something. So let me go back and show you real quick. You could see the container. It's the same container, and I divvied it up, right? And sometimes it was that, sometimes it was a bowl, right? But it was the same thing, so that I could know how to. For me, that was my hack. That was my hack. So I don't have to get a scale. But for those of you who like to measure that way with a scale, get a scale, get measuring cups, do all those things. And that's measuring the food. What about you? What about measuring yourself, right? Now we're talking about a scale, right? And what kinds of scales? There are so many types of devices. So I really don't want to turn this into like some kind of a commercial. But you know, they're all at different types of scale. So let me just show you like mine, right? So I have it was originally called the Nokia scale, but I guess it got rebranded as Withings. I love this thing. I probably would get a different scale nowadays because I'm now sort of in the Garmin world. I probably would get a Garmin scale. But it's not broken, so no need to upgrade. But get yourself a smartwatch. Most of you have these fashionable Apple Watches, right? These things are computers on your wrist. Like they can do so many different things. And then you could take it and make it old school / new school with a Rocket Book, where you literally write things down like what you ate. And then, you know, you could scan it with your phone and upload it to the cloud or just write it and leave it there, right? Like old school. But you know, that scale that I was telling you about, you know, I track my weight. So you could see here that this is my current weight. If I just tap on that right there, it just says 158, right? So let's go, and I'm going to click on year, and you can see how the whole scale shifts. You know, if we scroll again, boom, the scale has to keep adjusting for how much weight I lost. And this thing goes all the way up to 200 pounds. What's my first measurement here? Yeah, it's only showing 2019, right? Because in 2011, that was my heaviest. That was in the 200s. So I got the scale in 2019, and then I was able to track things, and that helped, right? It truly helped. So this is what I want you to be able to do. Like, I want you to be able to track these things. I tell my friend, I tell my family, like, hey, you telling me you want to lose this weight, but what are you really doing, right? This is work. It's a job, right? It's like your bank account. Some people don't like to look at the bank account because they know that the value of the bank account isn't what they want, right? And you can't just be like an ostrich and put your head in the ground and think that things will go away. So just to reiterate, consistency, right? Nutrition and measurements. And each of these things deserves its own dedicated video on, which I will do. But just before I end this, I want to quickly go back how I started the video, where I'm talking into the camera and I'm saying all the things that I wanted to do in that year, because we're talking about now end of the year, right? And then beginning of the next year. People have New Year resolutions, and they tend to want to stop jiggling that fat and they want to go and you know, parade their new body around, which is this one. You flex a little bit, you have a little bit more confidence, you take your shirt off, you go to the beach and all that stuff, and it feels good, it looks good, and all that comes with it, right? So I hope that this video is helpful for you. This is a bit different style than I normally do, and I don't want it to go too long. So my running bastards, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.